You're tuned in to Get Right Fantasy.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up, friends? Daniel Dopp here from the Fantasy Focused Football Podcast over on ESPN.
It's Fabs here, Michael Fabiano from Sports Illustrated.
You know who you can trust if you've got some questions about your fantasy squad?
Want to check out a cool show on YouTube that'll help you get ready for the fantasy football season?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network. If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Head on over to YouTube. Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network because they're doing everything they can to make you a better fantasy player.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
You're tuned in to Get Right Fantasy.
What up? What up? What up, world? Welcome back to the Get Right Fantasy Network. I'm Mike Herrick, aka Classic Mike. Tonight, I'm here with my good buddies, Kendall and Evan. What's going on, gentlemen? How are you guys doing tonight?
Great to see the both of you again. It's nice to have a trio co-hosting this show. I know you guys have had some great stuff going on between positivity and maybe some hardships, being a new fathers coming up. I mean, congratulations to the both of you too.
Yeah, no, I still got a few days left, but I know Kendall's been taking it like a trooper.
yeah, no, man. Things have been great, dude. The fab's growing. We're just learning how to survive on less sleep, but
yeah,
thankfully, we're crushing it so far in the start sit calls. At least I've been pretty on point. So not the best redraft season for me, but I've got some dynasty teams. I've been in the cooker for a minute. Things are happening. I got Kyle Pitts a bunch, and we're still surviving. I'm still in it even after that. So been looking forward to talking some football. So
yeah, I had Kyle Pitts in our OG listener league, and I was so thrilled that I got to unleash him this week, which was great. And I also have Mark Andrews just waiting in the wings for his matchup versus the Bengals. So tonight I'll be helping you guys, or we're going to be helping you guys answer your week 15 playoffs. We're there. It's sad. It's like a bittersweet thing. Start sit questions. We're also going to go over some news and notes and injuries that have led up to today. If you guys have questions that you want answered right away, just you can throw us a super chat. We will stop everything just to answer your question. Otherwise, we're going to be answering them as they come in the chat in the order that they're there. Just a quick little disclaimer. Please make sure you guys are using, the format full, half, non-PPR, tight end premium, 12 league, 10 league, based on the question, of course. If you're doing trades and stuff, give us a little bit of a broader, not a broader. We need a little bit more information, specifics. So let us know about that. No bye weeks. So happy no one's on a bye. We're going to start with QBs. Lamar Jackson, ankle limited. He's good to go either way. He keeps taking the day off, and he'll be limited Wednesday and then off on Thursday. Like, I'm going to stop for a minute. How do you guys feel about Lamar moving forward? I know we've talked about it offline a few times, but how do you guys feel with him moving forward? Let's go with Evan.
So I am hoping that the Baltimore Ravens get some new coaches in charge of this football team. I think this is an ultimate disaster that has been happening under the Harbaugh regime for quite some time now. They were able to get away with it for a few years just because I think they just had some better offensive linemen and they had some better defenders on their roster outside of Roquan Smith. But I think they have a case of being so predictable that they are losing games as a result of it, and they had to do stuff like get rid of like the ping pong tables in the locker room, and it seems like there's personality issues too, that they're just not taking this seriously enough. And if John Harbaugh can't round up the troops and get them motivated the way Ben Johnson does for my Bears, maybe it's time for a coaching change. And I feel the exact same way about the Steelers too, but we're not talking about them right now. As far as Lamar Jackson
On
goes,
my way.
as far as Lamar Jackson goes, though, I still say he's a strong dynasty hold. It's just like Justin Jefferson, right? Like Justin Jefferson, you're disappointed in, but he's still a strong dynasty hold. Both of these guys are still in their prime. They are not must-sell candidates. I mean, Lamar Jackson, unfortunately, is a lost cause for this redraft season, but don't fall for a lowball offer in dynasty if somebody wants Lamar that badly from you.
Yeah, fair enough. Kendall, what about you? Let's go with redraft.
So I guess I kind of have a bit of a boring answer with Lamar, right? The first part is like it's a caveat, right? Of like realistically in redraft, if you have Lamar, you've probably legitimately, due to injury, at least had to dip into the waivers at least once. You probably kept that person on your team, so you're like, you've probably got a decent option against Lamar, right? So you're kind of saying, hey, do I roll the dice on maybe something more consistent, more reliable, your box score, and you're looking like, hey, man, I just can't afford one of these weird things that Lamar's been doing. If I have a rock solid option, I feel real good about it. That's a really short list. Maybe right now I'm just doing Lamar, but the boring answer, it's really just a historical model situation. It's, why do we draft? Why do we like the players like Lamar? It's because on a league, I think, that has more parity than less on any given Sunday. And I think the likelihood of somebody repeating historically what they're doing versus staying in a funk when it's a bit of an aberration, at least from the rushing side of things, I just think he's going to do enough of the time and have enough historical success, at least red zone trips, because of the way, when you've got a quarterback with the type of weapons he has, his legs, it tends to lead to you just moving the chains a little bit. It helps. You see what Caleb's able to do in Chicago, Herbert with the Chargers, with a lot of shaky stuff around him. So I don't want to go on a pro Lamar take, because that's not what I'm doing here. If anything, I've always put Lamar in a sort of I'm under market on him in terms of his passing ability. I've never thought he was an amazing passer of the ball. 100%. I thought occasionally he's a nice competitor. He's got some gamesmanship. He really stays in the game mentally. He wants to go for it, but he's not like Burrow or even Herbert or May or these other guys that have like a poise to them that and a touch. But I'm just going to stay in the flames with the legs. I like Henry, but I don't think he is, outside of layups. I still think Lamar has the chance to give you at least 5 fantasy points with his legs. Gives him enough of a floor where he's just the auto option for me. It feels gross, but again, it's not a pro Lamar take. I'm just going with the math of, more often than not, I think a rushing quarterback like him is going to do just enough, and it gives you some ceiling. Like any quarterback can throw 3 touchdowns. Tyler Shuck looked great the other week. Actually looks pretty damn decent all around. Yeah. But we like running quarterbacks because the oops, I'm the running back and the quarterback today situations unlock this crazy 30+ point ceiling that sometimes you need to roll the dice a little bit. So I'm rolling with him even if it's close.
Okay. I mean, for me, I'm just, my 2 cents. I've always been low on Lamar regardless. I've always been lower than consensus. I agree with pretty much everything you had to say and more. He's never seemed to be a very good thrower of the ball. And, he had one great year, which I can't not look at. But at the end of the day, he puts himself into situations that make him less desirable in my mind. And currently, since week 10, he is currently QB 15. He's not even in the top 10. He's more of a QB 2 at this point. So he's definitely somebody that I'm avoiding if possible, unless I have a stronger option behind him. But the fact that guys like Jacoby Brissett, who we talked about last week, he's QB 2 in the last 4 weeks. That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. Right. So it's just hard to not want to, it's hard for people to go, oh, I'm not going to play Jacoby Brissett. I'm going to play Lamar Jackson. Like my brother has Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Jacoby Brissett, but he's been playing Lamar and or Joe. And I'm sitting there like, might want to play Jacoby. Like, he's the better option at this point. Joe's a great quarterback, but he hasn't had the same production. Well, he did, when he came back, but that was in the snow and all that.
I would much rather play Joe Burrow over Jacoby Brissett because Brissett's ceiling is 2 touchdown passes because he really only has Trey McBride and he's got an overachieving Michael Wilson to throw the football to in the red zone. Michael Wilson's not even a strong red zone guy in the first place, but he's just being a beneficiary of being force-fed the football because they don't have anybody else. And Marvin Harrison Jr., who we're going to get to pretty soon, is also out for Week 15. Yeah. So Brissett is going to be facing a really tough Houston defense, and I got to give Brissett credit, though. He did play pretty well against a really tough Rams defense.
Yeah, he's been playing very well against good defenses regardless. He's passing for 40 times a game. He doesn't do a ton with his legs, but he doesn't need to because he's been throwing the ball well, accurate. He gets the ball out quick. He's a good overall. He's been a great replacement to Kyler and what they should be looking for moving forward. All right, other QBs on the list. Justin Herbert. He's limited, but he was limited most of the week. He should play. There is no indication that he isn't. Jaden Daniels is ruled out. So Marcus Mariota is going to be playing this week. Another guy that's ruled out, Geno Smith. He has been ruled out with the right shoulder and back. To be honest, I'm surprised it didn't happen earlier. He has been banged up most of this season. Every game you just see him, he looks like the Walking Dead. So Kenny Pickett will get the start this week. Brady Cook is also going to be getting this start this week with Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor both being ruled out. And then here's the fun one. Colts had Riley Leonard from Ohio State. He has been dealing with a knee injury, a PCL injury. He was at full practice all week. They just brought in Phillip Rivers, which good old 44-year-old Phillip Rivers, who hasn't played football in 5 years.
I should also mention Riley Leonard graduated from Notre Dame. Well,
Notre
Dame.
My bad. I confused the two guys, Will Howard and him. My bad. Appreciate it. Thank you. But they brought in Rivers, and so they haven't named a starter yet. Who do you guys think is going to be the starter?
Well, according to Stephen Holder of ESPN, who is also a Colts insider, he's pretty dead set on Phillip Rivers being the starter based on the practices he was witnessing. And from his experience with being an insider journalist, he also mentioned it's not difficult to understand and come to the conclusion of who a team is looking to start. This team really wants to get Phillip Rivers back out onto the field. They wouldn't have gone out of their way to get him on the team if they really believed in Riley freaking Leonard. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Yeah, or Brett Rippon, for that matter, because Brett Rippon... Yeah, he was fine against a bunch of four-stringers and a bunch of backup, four-stringers and like borderline like roster bubble guys in the preseason for my Bears. But he's not starter-worthy, unfortunately. So P. Rivers is absolutely going to be starting on Week 15, and I'm going to bank on the insider for the Colts to confirm that.
Oh, 100%. And then they brought in, I think, Sam Ehlinger too, if I'm not mistaken. So they do.
Again?
I thought they did, or they looked him up or something like. I remember they had him come in or something. I heard something about that because they wanted some familiarity.
He's on the Broncos practice squad still.
Bronco, that's what it was. Okay. So either way, I thought I remember seeing the name Sam Ehlinger for some reason. Anyway, whole point is, I agree. I think it's going to be Phil as well. Coming back after 5 years. It's going to be interesting, to see how that turns out, especially in the matchup that they're currently going to have. I currently have him at QB 25 versus the Seattle Seahawks. So it should be interesting to say the least. Running backs, let's get into them. Alvin Kamara, he has been ruled out. His teammate Devin Neal, he was limited, but he is good to go with an abdominal injury, which is different than the ankle or knee or whatever he had. So it's a little different, but still good to go. Devon Achane is limited. He has been no contact for the last 2 days. He has been limited in those days, but Mike McDaniels has said there's nothing to show him that he won't play. So he should be good to go. If you do have Achane and you are in the playoffs, you should do everything you can to have Ollie Gordon and or Jalen Wright on your team. That's what I would be doing in one way or another, or having somebody on Monday night regardless. I want somebody just in case. Breece Hall, knee soreness, and or third quarterback, but he's good to go. He's been limited most of the week, didn't practice, but he is good to go. Josh Jacobs, he did not practice for 2 days and then limited on Friday. Matt LaFleur keeps saying that he's feeling better. Make sure you have Emmanuel Wilson, another situation where they're playing at 4:30. So you want to make sure you have either Emmanuel Wilson or somebody that's playing after 4, just in case you want to throw Josh Jacobs in your lineup. Woody Marks, good to go. Nick Chubb, I believe, is ruled out. When I was looking through my rankings, it didn't say that he was ruled out, but I'm pretty sure he's ruled out.
It's not official, but he's looking like he's going to be out.
Okay. I was going to say, I thought I posted in the Discord about it. That he was out. So yeah, he is out. Just think of him as out. It's going to be him and Derek Kumbawale. Derek Kumbawale. There we go. Almost got it. Andrew Jones limited with shoulder injury. He's good to go. Trey Benson is going to be out for the rest of the year. Now, I only bring this up because he was on the IR. He was added to the open practice window, couldn't practice, and is now on the season-ending IR. Chris Rodriguez pulled his he has something wrong with his groin. He was limited for the last 2 days. He's listed as questionable versus the Giants. So just know that going ahead. They're going to be a little banged up going in against the Giants this week. I don't know if that's good or bad. As Evan discussed before, Marvin Harrison Jr., he's out with a heel injury. He's been officially ruled out. Roma Dunze, he was limited and then a full today, so he should be good to go. T. Higgins, he was ruled out today with a concussion. CeeDee Lamb cleared concussion protocol and will be playing on Sunday Night Football, so just be aware of that. Ladd McConkey, good to go with a foot injury. Jordan Addison, he had an Achilles injury. He's good to go. Jaden Reed, still dealing with the shoulder, but is good to go, should play. Debo didn't practice today due to illness, so just be aware of that. That's another situation that I would just be keeping your eye on, and come back on Sunday morning.
Tis the season for a lot of people getting sick at this time of year, including certain 100%. YouTubers that I follow as well.
I was going to say, I've been listening to a lot of people, and a lot of people are, hi, so yeah, everyone is a little stuffed up, even me. Terry McLaurin is, he didn't practice on Friday. It was considered a rest day, so he should be fine. He practiced Wednesday and Thursday, so just be aware of that. Tight end injuries, real quick. This is an easy one. David Njoku, he's been ruled out, and I know all the people that have Harold Fanning are really happy right now. Mason Taylor is ruled out as well for the Jets. Mark Andrews, he's good to go. Theo Johnson should play. Both had limited practice throughout the week, and then Andrews had a glute injury that popped up late in the week. The big one is Jake Ferguson. So right now, and I think we're going to talk. I know that somebody in the chat was talking about Josh Jacobs and Jake Ferguson. Jerry said he should be good to go. You guys okay with that?
I'd say so. Jake Ferguson definitely wants to get out there, being one of Dak Prescott's favorite targets. I mean, he's been a low-end tight end 1 all season with a floor of 5 targets since week 11. It's a calf injury. Those things do linger. They can be annoying, but being that he's been having limited participants, they have to manage his load a bit because it is a calf injury, and they have to try not to overstrain him. I think he will take on his usual volume, and he should be easily a tight end 1, a low-end tight end 1, assuming he plays.
Aiden, I appreciate you looking that up and getting that for us. That does make a lot of sense now that I see that. So I remember I did see something about that. Well, yeah, I agree. I think he's going to play. I think they need him. I think this is, crunch time. They want to be involved. They're on the bubble. They're trying to get in. I think they're going to do anything they can to get him in and, give Dak everything he needs. All right. You guys ready to go? Ready to jump into some questions? Let's do it. So we got Jamie. Jamie goes, Evan, man, I'm going to be waiting for the wild animal to jump out from your background.
Yeah, so the background that I have right now is a backyard that I used to have in a rental house that I had more than 10 years ago. It's been a long time since I've seen it in person, but those were old days when I was younger, and I don't miss that place anymore. It was fun while it lasted, but I'm happy moving forward from it.
There you go. And it looks nice. That looks like a moon, like one of those nights where like the moon was really, really strong. So
That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
oh, that's what it was. Nice, nice. I love it. Warrior Loft goes. I was once 1-3. I'm in second place, 10-4. Thanks, guys.
We
That's
love
what we're here for, brother. That's why we are here to help you guys get these wins. So Warrior was the one. Are you guys worried about Josh Jacobs' knee injury? Sounds like it's not serious, but they are being extra cautious and containing the situation. Let's go with Kendall. What are you thinking about Josh Jacobs?
I mean, he's such an auto start where it's not an injury where he's not going to risk not playing, right? So the idea is, how clever are we trying to be here, right? It's a team that, if he was injured, I think they would just sit him. They're not like at risk of not making the playoffs. I don't see them as being stupid enough to really run him out there if he's really injured. And players are going to play. It's one of those things. Running back, every workout or every practice is going to be a little bit tough, right? That maybe the hits aren't as crazy. Look, from a fantasy perspective, there's no leagues I own him in where this is too scary not to play him, even if he loses a few snaps. And let's go ahead and, Vegas probably with this news probably lowers his totals just a little bit, not meaningfully enough where he's not the red zone guy. The only real issue is, could he risk slight tweak in the game and he could be out, right? Like, that's a real thing. That's the scenario that I look at where I want to avoid disaster. Very few matchups where I think I'm comfortable enough benching his upside to be a little bit safer. There are some really, if I have Kyle Pitts, okay, sure. At that point, actually, I mean, legitimate situation. You want to increase your winning chances by a few percentage points. I'm taking all my questionable guys like Rome, Ferguson that we just talked about, right? If I just had Pitts drop a 40 ball, yeah, I'm taking all my oops, they could be injured out. But for everybody else, it's just, I tend to be on the philosophy that says you shouldn't overreact to injuries in general. If you did, just assume the entire NFL is questionable every day, every year. Just it's really what it comes down to. If he's healthy, he's going to play. So is what it is. Little anxiety, not overreacting.
Okay. What about you there, Ev?
I agree with that for the most part. It doesn't seem like Josh Jacobs. Yeah, he's hurting in his knee, but I mean, he's taken 37 carries over the last 2 games against NFC North rivals. 17 against Detroit and 20 against Chicago. I don't think that's going to change much against Denver unless we see anything that we weren't expecting. But Emmanuel Wilson will continue in a, for the most part, handcuff role until he's needed to step up. So Jacobs did have to miss that game against the Vikings. And we know that Emmanuel Wilson will get him a minimum of 56% of the snaps if he has to be the RB1 on the team. Is he as good as Josh Jacobs? No, but if he falls in the end zone, you don't really care, right? You don't really care as much if he averages less than 4 yards per carry on the ground and offers nothing in the passing game. So, yeah, Josh Jacobs, I think he's playing against the Broncos. I don't see why he sits.
Are you guys scared of the matchup?
No.
Okay. Not particularly. I don't like the Broncos against for wide receiver ones, but I feel like from a run game perspective, they're not a good matchup strictly because their defense overall just limits yards and opportunities. But Green Bay is an above average rushing team. The Broncos are an above average rush D. I'm not scared enough of it. I don't think it's the thing the Broncos do where some teams have been known as that before. So not scared enough.
Okay. I mean, those are all fair. I would still have one of your backups available. Broncos are second best against the run currently, against running backs. And then on top of that, with him being hurt, we've seen when he was hurt and came in last time, it was 51% of the snaps for him, which is, not bad at all. They still keep him above 50, which is good. I'm very cautious unless I have something better. I have a bye week this week. I have Josh Jacobs on one of my teams, so I don't have to worry as much. But, in leagues that I do have him in, I would be a little bit nervous. I'm looking at the FanDuel props for him. They're not even listing him because of the injury. So at this point, it's hard to tell what's going to happen. So I would either have a better option or a backup just in case. But if he's playing, he's a solid start. So let's look at Warrior Loft's next question. Looking ahead, weeks 16 and 17, who are you starting? Jake Ferguson or Likely?
Ooh, I mean, I'll jump in just real quick. I think that answer really could change pretty significantly here.
I know.
I mean, Ferguson, how much does the injury hamper him? That's a look and see. What does the Ravens' offense and particularly passing offense look like? Right, this is definitely a wait and see. I almost don't want to give an answer. I can only give you like my rest of season up and downs with these guys. I am starting to get off of Jake Ferguson a little bit, only because I think he's the same player, but the offensive identity is moving away from him in a way that's not his fault. Sometimes you can be the same NFL player, but the path to success for an offense or the way they want to go just kind of isn't towards you. And it's no fault of his own. I liked him in the red zone for a long time. That's just not how they do their offense, especially with Javonte doing what he's doing. So not an anti-Ferguson take. I think the offensive identity skews not in his favor. So I'm looking at other options. Likely is not close enough as an option. That offense in and of itself is too inconsistent. We like Ferguson because the offense he's attached to. We'd think much differently about him if that wasn't the case, right? So I need the Ravens to show me something in addition to Likely's role in it. Right now, I see him more is a boom bust, right? Like Dalton Schultz is more consistent than Likely, right? It's a little bit too much for me, and the passing touchdowns really haven't been there as much as I need to. So I'm heavily leaning Ferguson, but definitely wait and see. That could change. A Likely popping off would mean less to me than Ferguson having 3 targets, right? That would be one of those like I think my narrative is hitting at that particular point, but that's what I'd say.
What about you there, Ev?
Yeah, I agree with Kendall here. I'm going Ferguson unless given reason to believe otherwise. Isaiah Likely is always a boom bust option as the second tight end in that offense. I mean, a lot of people want to believe. Don't distract me with these. Come on now, don't distract me with these. I'm trying to give an answer here. I don't. But it is a good point that Ayash Posh brought up as well. 6 targets over the last couple of games. Those are just incidental against teams that are really bad against defending tight ends. I believe the Bengals are the worst in the league at defending tight ends too. So, and he lost a fumble, which definitely hurts in upside that he could have had. Now that being said, I don't really care just because they do face Cincy again. And yeah, he could get another 6 targets. I don't know how quality they're going to be because the Ravens are one of the most unpredictable teams in the league. But I'm not starting him over Jake Ferguson, who's clearly the top tight end option on that team, even with both CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens out there, where Likely is, I don't even know what option he is out there because Andrews is also still the starting tight end. The Ravens just need a hard reset on everything. They clearly don't know what they're doing with their offense. And I don't know what they're even trying to accomplish with everything because it's not working. So in the meantime, just give me Jake Ferguson over Likely.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go the same boat. I don't mind the schedule moving forward, with Minnesota, the Chargers, and Washington moving forward. Those are all negative narratives that can work in Ferguson's favor, especially the Washington game during your championship weekend if you get there. The Likely schedule, I completely understand. And I have picked up Likely in a few spots, but mostly, to be fair, because I'm trying to play defense a lot more than I'm trying to play offense in that particular scenario. I have a lot better tight ends that I would rather play in those scenarios, in general. Likely is a little bit farther down on that list. I think I have him on 12, but I have him currently at 12. And it's mostly because of Cincinnati's defense and the history of this whole year has been against the tight end, and pretty much every tight end has gone nuclear against them. So it's hard not to rank him a little bit higher than normal, but that's only 1 week. Next week is not going to be the same. The week after, not going to be the same. Yeah, like Kendall said, I'm willing to just be like, and just go with Jake Ferguson moving forward and get my points in the coming weeks. So
you at least have a safe floor with Jake Ferguson, where
100%.
Isaiah Likely does not have a safe floor, and I'm not shooting for upside, or I'm not taking any risks in the playoffs. I mean, maybe you disagree with me on that part, but I like a safe floor in the playoffs because I want to at least know that I'm putting myself in the best possible chance to have a victory, no matter what round I'm in.
Yeah,
So,
and I mean, even Ferguson has been, we can bring up likely 6 targets in 2 games. Ferguson has been doing 4, 5, 5, or no, he's been doing 5, 6, 6, and 7 the last 4 weeks. So they're essentially, Dak's a better thrower of the ball. If he's just a better quarterback in that sense of the word. It's a safety blanket for him. There's a lot of scenarios that they do it. Having Lamb there almost helps him more because I've seen him where Lamb's not there and Ferguson just tends to not even be involved. When Lamb's there, he's involved because a lot of pressure is off of Ferguson at that point. So I'm going to stick to Ferguson, and especially with the news that we just talked about with him, with Lamb being forward, being active. Jamie, what's going on, man? So he goes start 2 in Superflex Dynasty. Nice. Dart, Hurts, Stafford. They're all in my top 7 rankings this week. I already know my answers.
Evan,
I don't even have to think twice about this one.
well, I do because I don't expect Jalen Hurts to suck all season long like he did with the 4 A lot of people are going to be moving off of Hurts because of the 4 interceptions and the fumble that he lost against the LA Chargers. Yeah, the Eagles are a beautiful disaster this year with all that talent, and yet they can't get it done against teams that they should, in theory, be beating. Now, that being said, Matthew Stafford is a must start. He's playing the Detroit Lions defense that is now without Brian Branch, and even when they had Brian Branch out there, they were terrible at defending the pass in the secondary. So it's not like I'd be scared of the Rams offense, even if the Detroit Lions defense was at full strength. Hurts is playing against a Raiders defense that is pretty much rolling over and just letting teams do whatever they want to them at this point. Maybe Max Crosby is still trying, but it's a lost cause for the Raiders. And Jackson Dart also has great upside against a beaten down Washington Commanders defense that is also pretty much giving up for the season because they're already eliminated from the playoffs. So if I'm going to pick 2 guys, I definitely love the upside in rushing that your Jackson Dart has, classic Mike. Jalen Hurts, I would definitely expect to bounce back against the Raiders. And then Stafford, that his arm is good for everything against Detroit Lions. And, they're all pretty much in my top 7 as well. But I am... I could pretty much flip a coin for some of these. That's how tough it is. This is a great question, by the way, Jamie. But for the sake of time, I'm going to go Hurts and Stafford for the experience factor. I don't want to put too much on the rookie yet.
Ooh, Kendall, you go. I already know mine.
Stafford's the easy one in. Top 2 or 3 for me this week. Probably rest of season. That's the auto start there. Like both matchups, Washington I don't think is doing much. Although it's fair to be said that I don't think New York has the best weapons, best feel for their offense right now either. So I feel like sometimes Dart has been overperforming what I think his lines might otherwise have been. It's, I think, a better way to look at his production than something to be more consistent. I think I want to look at a larger sample size, like Evan's alluding with Hurts. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay with Hurts here. I'm gonna stay with. There's more paths to that offense being okay. Like the reason we're reacting to that offense being broken is like it shouldn't, and it definitely shouldn't against Las Vegas. It's really the previous game was crazy, but like the crazy mistakes were the weird part. I think more often than not, Hurts is just going to have a better offensive game here. I like Dart. I want to see it a little more consistently. I don't know that Dart's still going to have the same rushing upside. Daniel Jones, when he didn't have the same rushing upside, was a different quarterback for me. It is really close. I just have Dart a few more below Hurts. And if I have to do it, I'll tell you this. If it was a worse matchup for Jalen, right, I would be very comfortable and happy going Dart, right? I went Dart over Lamar for that long stretch the last couple weeks. This is just it's a Las Vegas team that doesn't have a lot going well for it, right? The quarterback situation's bad. I mean, if anything, like this is a game where the Eagles could put up 30, 35, 40 points. Like it could get ugly. That's how bad Vegas can be. The amount of I don't see Vegas doing anything on offense, right? So the Eagles are going to have the ball in the red zone like most of the game, right? Like that's a very plausible outcome. So that's kind of where that's how I'm making my decision, where he's just a few points up in the rankings.
Okay.
You got to have a tiebreaker, right? And that's what it's going to be for me.
Okay.
Yeah. The only reason I don't pick Jackson Dart here is because it's a division rivalry game, and those are always weird.
Yeah, they can be. But you know what? I'm going to go with Jackson Dart. I know it feels like a homer pick because of who I am and what I like, who I root for. But honestly, it's not. I actually enjoy this particular matchup in general. Giants are favored by 2.5. He's been doing well with his legs, even though they've been trying to tell him to turn it down a little bit, which I understand. 110%. They need to. He needs to learn how to just get out of bounds. There are times to, put the shoulder down. And there are times to just let it go. I also like Stafford. He's a lock. The 55 point over under for me is what I like. That is the one thing that I am just can't wait to watch this game in one way or another. It's going to be a fun matchup as a whole. Just watching these two guys in a dome just go at it. So I'm really excited for these, that particular matchup. So Stafford, Dart, those are my two. Evan and Kendall going with Hurts and Stafford. Let's go to Scott. Scott goes Williams, Knicks, or Burrow, full PPR.
This is like an easy Burrow for me. If Burrow's healthy, always start Burrow. I get the tease out. It's Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase is still on the team. I have faith that Joe Burrow could do anything with worse weapons. Very hard for me to not start Joe Burrow. I'm already against Bo Nix in general in a lot of ways. I think I'm going to be right more often than I'm wrong. And Caleb, come on, I got to see the passing game do a little bit better before I'm just ready to run out Caleb as a QB1 right now. So,
what about you, Ev?
Well, I'm going to go Burrow over both Caleb Williams and Bo Nix simply because the passing weapons is better. Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than both of those two right now. And I'm not saying that to be the case against my favorite guy, Caleb Williams, forever. And I think Bo Nix even has some room to improve too. I don't think it's over for him. But Joe Burrow is the established veteran with the established passing weapons against a Baltimore secondary that can't even stop a stop sign. So I think that this is going to be huge for Joe Burrow this coming up. I would expect no less than 2 touchdown passes from him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, historically, he has done very well against the versus the Baltimore Ravens.
Did you almost say Buffalo Raiders?
I almost said Buffalo Ravens. I don't know why.
I like it.
I've had a few beers. I'm a little tipsy.
That's beautiful.
So beyond that, it's at Cincinnati. Just to let people know, in the Northeast and in that particular Ohio area, there is going to be a snow front that's coming through right there. Even Long Island's going to be getting a couple inches from that, which is not rare. It's a little rare for us. That could be a quite fun game as well. Another division matchup that I enjoy. It's going to be Joe Burrow, regardless. It's hard not to play him. All right, this is going to be harder for us there, Warrior. Looking ahead at these matchups. So we got the Broncos versus the Jags or the Chiefs versus the Titans. I know my answer.
Wow. I'll say this real quick, right? One, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this question because at the end of the day, defense has crazy variations. This is not something to go in sports bet because we can outsmart the things happen with
100%.
There just isn't that much correlation to just knowing how it's going to go for you, right? Just pick a lane and kind of run with it, right? I'm going to say in this particular case, right, the Broncos are screaming to me right now. But the thing I find interesting is that the Chiefs D is looking better. And they feel like the safest bet to the Titans just not scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
The Jags are this weird team of destiny right now. I can't describe it. I keep looking at them being like, the Jags suck. But I'm like, yeah, but their defense has been oddly good. Their offense is sometimes okay. They're somehow plausible. Tell me they couldn't put up 24 points on the Broncos defense. They just randomly could, and I can't explain it. The Titans scoring over 9 points against the Chiefs seems absolutely outrageous. I wouldn't be surprised if they have negative yards at halftime. I'm going to take like the chalky, easy 10 points and probably go with the Chiefs defense as a tiebreaker.
100%. I'm picking the Chiefs here.
So, Warrior Loft, the one thing I will tell you is that I do not recommend looking ahead at DSTs at this time. I actually just released a full-length video on my Barely Fantasy YouTube channel. Check that out after the show. Ooh. I do not encourage anybody to stash DSTs for the playoffs because the average points they put up all year long is any unit is lucky to get to 10 fantasy points per week by average. And even then, that data is skewed because of like 1, 2, or 3 weeks where they pop off and they get 100%. maybe a special teams touchdown or whatever the case is. It's too fluid and it's too much of a dart throw to depend on. So I will be respectful and answer your question though, Warrior Loft. I'm gonna go with the Broncos defense over the Chiefs defense because the Titans showed that they can put up 31 points against some talented defenses out there like the Browns. I'm not saying the Browns are a good team, but the Titans are starting to show some signs of life out there because they got nothing to lose and they're going to just throw caution in the wind. Where the Chiefs, I mean, they probably have a little more to play for compared to the past, but I just don't think they have what they used to. I think it's going to be a closer game than it should be. But yeah, I'm going to take the Broncos here just to answer your question. And my answer is the same for your next question about Week 17 here. I'll be respectful here. I will say you should play the Patriots defense over the Steelers defense. It's that easy because the Jets offense is a total disaster. Now, that being said, Warrior Loft, like I said, do not go out and stash any defenses right now. Keep streaming them. Fill your bench with players that you could potentially start in a pinch because your chances of getting more points out of them are higher.
Yeah. And this is, I think, for kickers.
Yeah, same thing with kickers.
Yeah, I mean, in my particular view, you're playing Aubrey regardless. I mean, he's just a better kicker than Fairbairn. Fairbairn's more accurate in some ways, but he doesn't have the leg that Aubrey does. And Aubrey can change a game. I am gonna tell you Aubrey until further notice. And even looking at the schedule, indoors. So we're going with Aubrey.
That's an easy Aubrey, and then get rid of kickers the following year.
Yeah, well, except for against the Commanders, but even so, I'm still going Aubrey. And
Brandon Aubrey is an automatic start every single week the Cowboys play because of the talent he has in his leg alone. I love me some Kayemi Fairbairn, but
I love him.
I mean, he's not as good as Aubrey.
I was going to say, I love him if I don't have Aubrey. And if I have Aubrey, I'm not playing him. And the only time I'm playing Fairbairn is when Aubrey's on a bye.
So hope that helps, Warrior Loft. Thank you for the questions.
Yeah, always enjoy those. Always love my kicker questions. We got Aiden. What's going on? He goes, good afternoon, gentlemen. I joined 2 Guillotine Leagues this year and have made the Final Four in both. Good for you.
Good work, man.
And I have made, in one, I decided to stream Pitts and had Bijan.
You're saying.
Oh, you lucky.
Yeah,
right? You completely ended someone's hopes and dreams, man.
Just trying to flex in that one. So he goes, pick 3 out of these 6. All right. Yeah, Bowers, McBride, Pickens, Cook, Henry, and A-Chain.
Is it tight? What's the tight end premium scoring, bud?
I couldn't tell you.
Aiden, if you're listening, definitely let us know what the tight end premium situation is. We'll answer it as if it's straight PPR, no tight end premium. How does that sound? You guys got conviction? I'm still kind of reading the question a little bit. I know you guys have some feelings yet.
It's going to be McBride as a lock. I'm going to have to. I want to lock Cook. I think the one guy that's out of this, I'll see, and I want to have Henry out of this equation. But unfortunately, I don't think I can. I think A-Chain. I would love to play A-Chain, but I'm so nervous. It's such a good matchup, though.
I like A-Chain a lot. I'm staying in the Flames. He's a locked in, like he's as locked in as McCaffrey is for me. I'm going McBride, Cook, A-Chain. For me. It's close between Pickens and Cook for me. I actually think Pickens has like kind of a get right game, but Cook's just too damn consistent right now. I like the Patriots.
Are
defense.
most of these
guillotine
better? Are they full PPR? If they're full PPR, I'm going Pickens. I have no problem with Pickens. It would be McBride, Pickens, and then probably A-Chain.
Evan, what are you thinking?
I don't necessarily want to give an answer for a guillotine league because I have no experience strategizing for these, so I would not be the best guy to ask.
Oh, I don't either. I'm just giving, 3 guys that I think that are going to be out there, that I would want out there in my perspective.
Yeah, and I get that. I just don't know if there's more to it than what there is. So
no. For this, it's just you want to have the most points. So you're trying to get
I get it. Yeah, I just don't have any. I don't have any experience trying to strategize for such a thing. And half a tight end premium,
0.5 and premium. Well, with 0.5 premium, the fact that Bowers is probably going to have to get. I think he's going to have 8 catches. I mean, that is adding an extra 4-point floor to my projection. That gets Bowers in over Cook for me. That makes Cook a little too touchdown dependent. I'm gonna go Bowers, McBride, Achane with the 0.5 premium. Then it's gonna be
another. It's gonna be another one of those snow games out in New England too. So, okay, all right. Yeah, I think Achane is the one that I think most of us agree on, and then. McBride, I think we're both locked in on. I think it's really just, between Bowers, Pickens, or Cook. Unfortunately, Henry kind of takes, step back in this one. I think I love Henry in this matchup because it's a good one because, Cincinnati can't stop the run either. But it's a very difficult, the way that their offense has been, it's just been so volatile that it's so hard to pick what day it's going to happen. And A-Chain is just, a better choice in my opinion. So a lot of good picks and a lot of good, situations. Aiden goes, also first time popping in on the live stream in a while, loving the Bears. There you go.
Dude, we are too bad. We are absolutely loving the
Bears. Oh, no. Oh, sorry. He meant the beard.
Well,
loving the beard.
That works too, man.
Yeah. I'm trying to grow it out. I'm not as good as Kendall though. I don't have the genes for it.
It's the only thing I do well, man. I got a few other life skills. You guys are good at things, right? I barely talk well for a living.
Ah, stop it. You're a recruiter. You have to talk well. So we got for next week. Question: would you start 3 guys in one game? Kyron, Stafford, and Rams defense. In this case, yes.
Oh yeah, easy. I get.
Don't worry about defense.
Defense doesn't matter. Actually, defense running back has positive correlation. Oftentimes when you have a defense you're happy starting, that typically 100%. Leads to better field position, correlates directly to running back, 10 zone, red zone chances. So easy correlation there. So just don't look at it as 3 and 1. Look at it as 2 and 1, right?
2 and 1. Yeah. The only time I'm not playing a defense is if it's against that person.
Yeah,
then I'm not
easy. Yeah. No, I would feel fantastic about it.
Hold on 1 second though. Hold on. I mean, are we talking week 16 or 15?
I'm assuming this is 16, and either way, I'd still be doing it.
Yeah, well, I mean, against even against the Seahawks, like Stafford and Kyron are pretty much locks. I mean, you have to start them either way.
Yeah, I would be finding a different option for the Rams defense, but
I would agree.
I mean, don't get me wrong, yeah, that's interesting. I do see the point where it's like, but if you're running a thin bench in a competitive league, it's one of those. The Rams defense is good enough where I'm not going to go grab a second defense because I'm that scared of the matchup. I totally agree.
Oh, true, but
it's not an auto start anymore at that particular point. If that's kind of the direction there. But
so Kendall, I'll ask you this: Saints or Rams? Saints are going to be going against the Jets.
Saints.
And
it's like the Saints playing a college team.
Kind of my point.
Any
and then
defense in the NFL, literally any defense in the NFL can put up 20 plus fantasy points.
100%, and that's kind of where I'm going with that is the concept that I would probably see what you got going into next week. If the Saints are available, I might switch it out and do the Saints instead of the Rams. The only other team that I would actually, and this is an unpopular take. Another team that I'm actually targeting for defenses?
I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours.
It's the Chiefs. I am targeting the Chiefs, and you know why? They are down 4 offensive linemen on their team currently. They are on their third backup for their particular tackle on the left. They are also off, like, and he's not coming back for the rest of the season. And then their left tackle still isn't coming back. Their right guard still out. They have been banged up at the left guard, and Humphrey is the only guy there. I am targeting any defense, I don't care who it is, versus the Chiefs. And it's because Mahomes has not been able to play well in the last few weeks because of that. And I think that even the Titans defense has a decent pass rush. They have Jeffrey Simmons that clogs the hole in the middle, and they have good pass rushers on the outside. Just saying, I've been targeting the Chiefs in some ways if I can, but I would rather have the Saints. I rather have who else do I see here? I'd rather have, well, you're not going to have the Texans to be at. I would have the 49ers versus the Colts. I would love to have that matchup. That would be fun. And then the other one would be the Bills versus the Browns. I would like that one very much as well, because I think that was a one-off for Shador, to be quite.
You've made that game, watching it, more intriguing to me in a way I didn't think before, because you do have this interesting knack, as long as I've been doing the show with you, to every
It's
now
a
and
line
again,
versus line.
when you have
man.
a weird defensive conviction, somehow you have a weird defensive whisperness about you in fantasy. So it's got me spooked enough. You haven't swayed me, but I am now.
Dude, I'm telling you now.
You've got some voodoo on it. Can I interest
thinking,
you in a guy that in a team that no one talked about, that is, it absolutely should be a up there in a big streaming conversation this week. And Evan, I want like at least a 30-second take on this. Why is no one wanting to start the Bears this weekend against Cleveland? We are well coached. We are just a decent all-around unit, in my opinion. We are going up against a rookie. They are also down a bunch of. I was just gonna
say,
and we are just amazing at takeaways. We're gonna control the pace of play. Shador could be in for a seeing ghosts day against a well-coached Chicago Bears defense that takes the ball away, which we like for defensive scoring. It correlates to fantasy. Oftentimes, the Bears correlate better to fantasy than the NFL sometimes, with our takeawayness that we've been prone to lately. And I think we could absolutely just show. And we're in a get right window. I get a very, very typical, like, Green Bay was the closest thing that I can call a good loss.
Can I at least have input here?
Well, yeah, please do tell.
Yeah, so I think the reason that a lot of people are sleeping on the Bears DST this week is because, in general, NFL fans are haters on our team. They're thinking that we're not for real, or we have a cake matchup, we're getting lucky with our wins. There's a lot of teams a lot of people, fans of other teams, that are making excuses against the Bears because they saw our record last year with Eberflus, and they think we suck, and we're just overachieving this year. A lot of people don't believe in us, and I ain't worried about that, because all that matters in the end is that fantasy football, you put up points. They put up 12 against the Cowboys, 11 against the Raiders, 10 against the Commanders, 14 against the Saints. They haven't put up a double-digit fantasy production since then, but at least there's at least a decent floor for it. And against a Browns offense that's going to really struggle, I don't see why not either.
No, I like that, and that's a great point. They're also getting their linebackers back, so they have a lot of. I don't see any linebackers on the injury report, which is good for you guys, because they were down 3 the last few weeks. They're only down Kyle Gordon at this point, and they got Jalen Johnson back. They have so many good pieces on that defense. It's just the right time for them to start getting healthy. And I agree. They're right now, Browns are down. They just had Poddick. It just went on their center, Pro Bowl center, just went on IR. They had Zinter just went on. He's questionable. Doesn't look like he's that great. And then on top of that, Benito, who is pretty good, he's listed as questionable, but he's banged up. So their tackles are the only thing that are saving them. They have a good, nose tackle, good group. That's a good eye there, Kendall. I'm actually looking right now to see if they're available because I like the take. You swayed me in this case.
That's why you tune in, man. Every now and again, we get a couple there.
This Bears defense also has a lot of Matt Eberflus holdovers, which are not necessarily in alignment with the schemes that Dennis Allen prefers. So I'm just hoping by next season we get more fitting players for a Dennis Allen as opposed to a Matt Eberflus that like to play defense differently, which is working out so well for the Cowboys right now. They're not failing every single week, but let's just say they're not stopping a lot of offenses.
There you go. I like it. So those are our answers for you there, Tyler. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Jamie goes, the Browns are without. Oh, okay. So this is back to what we were talking about.
That's what we just
before.
did. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was something else that we were talking about. But yeah, it's very very close to that. So Aiden goes, first player to get -4 points in one play. Statistics say he's going to average out. Oh, this is about Hurts with 60-point games. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm not a big fan of Hurts in general, so I don't see that happening.
No, dude. I just
That's
bought
the
him
Giants
in Dynasty,
fan.
like right before.
Okay, let's be clear. I didn't like him prior, but I have never been a fan of Jalen Hurts just in general. I'm a fan that if you can run and run and throw, then you're good. But he can't throw the ball. He can run. So
Not so sure that's true, but I don't know.
For
Maybe that's
me,
another topic for another time.
It's more of my eye. I don't see him being. He's not an accurate quarterback in my opinion. From what I see, I could look at statistics all I want, but I got to look at a lot more about the. I forgot what they call it. It's like a catchable ball. They have like a stat for catchable balls and stuff like that. He's very low on that list. Let's go to Steven Pereira. What's going on, man? He goes, Michael Wilson, Tet, Wandell, pick 2, half PPR. I think Wilson is a lock for all three of us. Correct?
No.
Ooh,
Houston's secondary is fantastic.
I agree.
They will. Well, hold on. Hold on. They will definitely be planning for Michael Wilson in addition to Trey McBride. They have some of the best cornerbacks in the game, and I don't see Michael Wilson getting double-digit targets that are going to be catchable balls. I mean, sure, it's possible he could get 10 or 11 targets, but I'd be satisfied if he caught half of them. Now, that being said, I'd prefer the safer floor with Tetero and McMillan in addition to Wan'Dale Robinson. I want those two.
Interesting. I like it. Kendall, what about you?
Classic. You know what? I love you, buddy. But I'm completely with Evan here.
I know.
Evan, I'm glad you said that. I was off on Michael Wilson becoming a pumpkin when he clearly was staying in the flames there. But Houston's defense does scare me in a pretty authentic way. I'm not. The Panthers are in a very important game, big game for them. I think Ted's going to be over targeted. I think they're just going to force the ball their best guy in high leverage situations in a game that they really need to win. And Wandale is actually my easiest lock out of these guys. He's just the guy. He's just when you start averaging 10 plus targets, you're always getting some play, right? So Wandale's the easy one for me. It's down to Tet, Michael Wilson. I like Tet to score a touchdown more than Michael Wilson. And I like the Panthers just really playing hard in this one, where I think Houston is going to be the team that plays hard and does a bit of damage to the Cards on this one. I also think the time of possession is going to be insane. I think it is an absolute smash spot for Woody Marks. I think he could. I'm going to have a few shekels on him running probably over 95 yards, over 100. I think he's going to do some nice work, and there just won't be enough possession time to really let Michael Wilson cook.
I'm
not saying
I'm not how you skewed me.
I'm not off of Wilson this week, but
I hate it.
This particular case,
I know
everything's relative. I'm
honestly
off of him enough that I'm with that.
Okay, so Wandell's the guy that we all agree.
Yes,
I could definitely agree with Wandell here. Wandell, 100%. I'm going with Wandell everywhere I can. Tet, he had 11 points last time he faced him, 8 targets, 5 catches, 60 some odd yards.
Now, well, let's remember, he doesn't like being called Tet. He prefers T-Mac.
I know. I'm going based on what we got here. So, yes, T-Mac. I agree with your points with the Houston defense. It's just hard to stop the volume that he could see. I understand completely what you guys said. Don't disagree with it in any way, shape, or form. He has outperformed most people every week, even with Marvin Harrison Jr. out, even against good defenses. But I think that Houston is a step above most of those defenses. Including,
let me give him the positive take then here real quick. I'll put it this way. If he wins his matchup, if he just authentically plays a very good real life NFL, like I'm going to show up to play today and I'm going to win.
I mean, they shut down
and he
Rice.
has a huge game. I'm going to look at him in a different light. If he shows up and goes like, 8 for 10 and a touchdown and just looks amazing, I'm permanently going to change my opinion of him. Like it would be that big of an accomplishment in the face of what's going to be an adverse situation. And that would be a cool narrative too. Don't get me wrong. It would be so fun to see the shouty shows talking about like Marvin Harrison, wide receiver 2, and Arizona, unrealistic take, but fun.
I mean, it's so hard for me to not. I mean, they've been shutting down every team that's been out there so far, and they just have made a mockery of everybody that they've faced. It's so hard to go with it, and the more I think about it, the more I'm like, oh god, I got to play him in few spots, but I have no choice in some of those situations, so I'm gonna go Michael Wilson. But you have the choice. You have Tet, you have Wandell. I'm gonna go T-Mac and Wandell here. You guys swayed me. I hate you both. Country Boy Jazz, what's going on, man? 12-man full PPR. Start who? So it's 1 QB. It is 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex. The QBs are Purdy and Mahomes. Let's start with them. Are you going Purdy versus who is he facing this week? They are facing the holy shit, where are they? Oh, the Titans, or Mahomes versus the good old
Titans, right?
Titans,
right?
No.
Mahomes has the Titans next.
I'm sorry,
week.
Chargers.
There we go.
Chargers this week.
I think I'm going Purdy.
Yeah, you first, Kendall.
I'm just not. I'm not going to look at the matchup. I'm going to fall on the like, if Mahomes doesn't have a good game, like that's all the NFL is going to talk about. I'm going to say maybe it's more likely we get a vintage Mahomes 4 touchdown performance than Purdy playing better than him. It's close, right? I like Purdy's matchup, but I'm just with the season on the line for Mahomes and the way it is already not looking good. I'm going to roll Mahomes in this case based on the historical stuff, I guess.
Okay. So Country Boy Jazz, I believe I talked to you about this before, rostering 2 quarterbacks in this case. I'm not going to lecture you again with it, just because I think you already know how I feel about rostering 2 quarterbacks. I can understand not necessarily wanting to drop one of them because they're both capable of QB1 weeks, but I think with the state of the 49ers as a team, you can make a case to drop Purdy and just roll with Mahomes here, as the Chargers defense is not exactly the best at stopping the pass, but at the same time, they're going to definitely want to prove to people that they can still hang with good AFC teams like the Chargers. So I would expect a bounce-back performance from Mahomes. I have him over Purdy this week.
I am the complete opposite. I'm actually Purdy. I have Mahomes in a few leagues, and it's for the exact same reasons that I talked about before about the facing the defenses against them. Mahomes has been playing very well. He's QB? He's QB like 3 or 2 or something like that currently. The whole point I'm trying to make here is he's been playing very well until now. And when you see him lose that many linemen, the game isn't the same. Yeah, they could have plenty of time to plan and do all that. They still haven't been able to do what they can, and the Chargers are on a different level on their defense in general. They have a decent pass rush. They have a lot of guys that are looking to get to the quarterback. They're going to have a rough time versus a very weak offensive line of the Chiefs. Purdy is going to be in a good matchup against the Titans, who give up, right now they are 24th ranked against the QB at this point. I love the matchup. I love the situation in general. And they're at home, so they're favored by 12. I like this matchup a lot for Purdy, and he has better weapons around him at this point that are doing what he needs to do. I understand the concept of the 2 QBs and so on and so forth, but at this point, Purdy is a better option, and I understand why you're doing it. Save him for next week against the Titans. Might have a better outcome, but I like Purdy currently in this particular matchup.
My Purdy shares. I have so much Purdy in Dynasty right now.
Well,
man.
only
believe me. I hope you're right. Kind of.
This is the only caveat, because then I'm looking at the team forward, and he has CMC, Jones, Walker, and Rodriguez, which I think we're all in agreement that it's CMC is the number one.
Yep.
And then it's trying to figure out who we would go with the running back 2.
I'll go Walker.
I'm going Walker here. I know Walker gross. I'm still going Walker here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Walker and not feel great about it. But yeah, I'm gonna go Walker as well. And then we're gonna go Olave, Diggs, Jennings, Terry, and Godwin.
I'll go Olave and Diggs here.
I'm close. I'm
Godwin
for
already
sure.
played, so we can't put him in the equation.
Yeah. Godwin's out of there. Something I'm getting good vibes on. No, with the quarterbacks flip, Terry's taking out a play from me with him being. Yeah. I'm gonna go Olave Diggs here.
Yeah, me as well. And then tight ends, it's Waller, Strange. It's Strange for me.
Yeah, same. Can go Strange.
Yeah, I have Strange pretty high this week as well. Let's go with him. Darren Waller, if he doesn't fall in the end zone, he's not worth enough.
Yeah, Strange is so good standalone, and he's got to catch a touchdown at some point. He's got that Trey McBride luck at this point.
Yeah. But they're targeting him a lot. They like him. And then the next is for the D, Rams or 49ers. In this case, this is kind of like the scenario we were talking about before. I have no problem with Purdy, CMC, and 49ers. I'm okay with that particular group.
I forget the matchup, but I think the 49ers have it this week, right? Yeah, I think they just have a crazy.
Yeah, they're favored by 12, 44 points.
Yeah, I'm going Niners here if I have the option.
I'm not going with the 55-point over/under.
Yeah, sure, I hear you.
Yeah, so Country Boy Jazz, I'm not sure if I told you this too, but please do not roster 2 defenses. Drop one of them. I would say I can understand wanting to hold the Rams, but they don't exactly have the easiest matchups coming up, where they're gonna be in Seattle, which is gonna be tougher for them. In addition to facing a tougher Lions offense, and then the Falcons, which can surprise you. Granted that the Falcons are really only good against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but they're not that good against everybody else. But I would rather just play the 49ers this week and go get like somebody else in wide receiver, running back, or tight end that you could have on your bench so that another team doesn't take them. Because you want your best opportunities to come from a flex spot as opposed to a defense where you can only start one. Same reason you don't roster 2 quarterbacks in 1 quarterback league, because you're only going to start one and the other one is just dead weight. So, yeah. But anyway, for this week, I'm starting the Niners over the Rams defense this week.
Awesome. So let's go to Dr. Ken. What's going on, Doc? He goes, want to buy week stash running backs. I might have to use as a RB2 or flex in a couple of full PPR leagues. Would you all feel comfortable rolling with any of these weeks 16 or 17? Come on, guys. We're focused on 15. But I'm glad that you guys have your bye week.
No, I mean, good question. This is a stash. My running back is the position I want to stash. Like, to add to Evan's answer on the last question, looking at like our RB2 felt a little bit gross. I would want to pick up an extra low percentage dart throw, but when it hits pretty strong, right? I mean,
100%.
Like my Devin Neal take is like when I picked him up when he was a complete, just like, guys, I said it was a 5% chance, but it's taken me to the playoffs in several leagues where it shouldn't have. Yeah, and I think the answer to this is absolutely. I think all of these guys are particularly relevant. Do you guys have a favorite if you can only pick one and they're all available?
I would want Corum out of this whole list. No one else.
I would go Corum, Singletary, Knight, Rodriguez. I do not want to prioritize Chris Rodriguez. Yeah, he's the most effective running back in that awful Washington committee, but the offense can't get anything going in the run game. They do not have a running back that stands out. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt is overrated, and I think he needs more time to develop, quite frankly. He needs to develop in the NFL to become a better back. But Chris Rodriguez also has a groin injury, and who knows how much that's going to hold him back, too. So I don't want to trust a Chris Rodriguez who barely gets 40% of the snaps to have a higher ceiling than what he could get off of like maybe 10 carries, which sure, you could probably make the same argument for like a Ken Walker, but Walker at least is used in the red zone where Washington is going to be lucky to see the red zone. even against a weaker Giants defense. I would not count on this being a high-scoring game. I think this Washington Giants game is going to be a defensive battle. What do you think, Mike?
It's going to be a gross game because it's going to remind me. This reminds me of last year with the Colts. It's just it's like one of those games where we're trying to lose and then we win. So it is what it is. I agree with Evan. Corum is definitely the number one that I'm looking at for these. Singletary is number 2, and then Bam Knight definitely 3. Rodriguez isn't in the conversation for me, but otherwise, I really those are my choices. I'm assuming Kendall, you're feeling about the same for those as well.
There's only one slight deviation, and that's look. If this was a pure stash, like if this were the previous question and Walker was my RB2, I would be playing for pure upside. And in that case, I would go Corum because if Kyron would go down, 100%. I like the offense the best. If this is a situation where it's an even shakier situation, I don't know your exact running back room, but if this is to have to potentially play, I'm probably going with Bam Knight just because he is guaranteed to be the starter.
Yeah.
And he's okay. I mean, he can fall in the end zone. He's a starting running back, I wouldn't go with him if I was playing pure upside. That's where I want Corum. But the way his question's phrased, that has me looking a little more towards Bam Knight. So if he's listening, you'll kind of make the right call based on what makes sense there.
Yeah, I mean,
Bam Knight kind of has a James White role, but I do not want to count on that in this terrible, overrated Cardinals offense.
And he's got 2 really tough matchups. As much as the Falcons had a fun game last night. Falcons are pretty good against the run in general. And on top of all that, this week against Houston does not look fantastic for him. I'd rather have Corum out of all this, and I just would leave it at that. All right.
Dr. Ken, whoever you select for that, good idea. I can't decide if Blake Corum is merely a handcuff or he actually has standalone value, but it's looking like he's building standalone value. So maybe the Rams are finally going a 2-back offense, just like the rest of the NFL wants to do. And if that's the case, go ahead, go get Corum.
Yeah, I agree. And it's unfortunate because I love Kyron.
All right, Jamie, let's get to your questions now.
So, Jamie, we got full PPR. Start 2, Juwan Jennings, Breece Hall, Jalen Warren. I'm going to go first. Breece Hall and Jalen Warren.
Same.
Yeah. This
All right.
one.
Next.
Yeah. Yeah. Wrap it up. No, that one's just easy for me. I can't play Juwan Jennings. It just isn't. It's not there compared to the other 2. Start 1, full PPR, half tight end premium. I love this. DJ, not no more. John Mechie or Gatson.
How did you get in this pickle, Jamie? What league is this?
I know. Oh, God.
Yeah, I was going to say, Arande Gadsden's not really much of a thing anymore with the way that their offensive line has been pretty much beat up to the point where guys like him have to go block more often. But that being said, I think I'm going to go Mechie and DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore is going to bounce back against, even though Cleveland's secondary is good, I think DJ Moore is going to have the bounce back game because he was freaking pissed about not getting the ball on that last drive.
Let's just okay.
He was open, man.
I'm saying it again.
Kind of.
I know that we had this whole conversation.
Like NFL open, right? Like open enough that a play could be made.
I am not a Bears fan, and I am the one sitting in the seat going, throw to him. He had 3 guys, 3 all defensive players ahead of him on the sideline, and he slowed down completely. I understand going for the gold, but guess what? Get your 1. You need 1 just to keep the clock moving or just to get the ball down the field. Give it to the guy that can get you that yard. He's right there. You don't need to throw it into coverage. Ridiculous. Horrible.
I think if Caleb did a floater to DJ Moore, it would have easily been caught. And all DJ Moore would have had to worry about is Keyshawn Nixon coming up and having to juke and cross him. And DJ Moore's absolutely capable of doing that.
100%. And you know what?
These things happen. I mean, I don't blame Caleb for this. I just think that this was A, an experience thing, and B, when you're playing from behind, it's always more stressful. You don't want to play from behind in a crucial game like that.
I am blaming Caleb 100%. You have one guy you have the best wide receiver on your team currently there, and you are not utilizing him at all. You have not tried one time to get him involved. I'll even blame Ben Johnson for that one as well. You couldn't have easily tried to scheme DJ Moore into it. It makes me think a lot of times, like, did he make fun of him, or did he make fun of Ben Johnson's wife or something like that? Because it's like he never is involved until it's like, oh, yeah, today we're going to, DJ, you want to get, okay, well, why not today? Like, it makes no sense. The guy is a very talented player. It's very upsetting to see him being underutilized.
A lot of mouths to feed in that Bears offense now.
I agree, but they'll find a way. There's a way.
They will. And they definitely will against Cleveland. I think he's going to bounce back. Hollywood Jack 509.
What's going on, man? He goes full PPR. Ladd, Reed, or 80 Mitchell. Who we going here? And I think we're all going to lean the same way.
Well, how do we know he didn't mean Keaton Mitchell? Huh?
My dude.
Fair point.
I will die on that hill, baby. I love me some Keaton Mitchell so much.
Oh, you do. I picked up Rashid Ali the other day. So
I'm Ladd here.
Yeah, I think it's Ladd.
I mean, I want to say 80 Mitch. I'm starting.
I want to say it. Yeah, I want to say 80 Mitchell, but it's not.
You can go Ladd McConkey here. You don't need to depend on Jaden Reed in a really weird Packers passing game. And you don't have to go Adonai Mitchell if you don't want to, because Brady Cook, well, let's just say that he's going to have a really hard time developing in the NFL, being thrown to the wolves like he's about to do, playing 100% of the snaps. And that's going to go really tough against a Jacksonville defense that's still, I think, is still very underrated.
Oh, they're one of the best pass rushes in the league. People don't realize how good they truly are.
They are.
Yeah. They are. They are very good, and they have one of the best. They have actually one of the best front sevens that I've ever seen, with Devin Lloyd and Fualaku, and I mean they do a really great job. It's just they can't. It's one of those scenarios. It's kind of like what I deal with the Giants every year. Good defense, but they're always on the field. You can't do that. You need to be able to give them a little bit of a break, and I think the Jags have the same problem when it comes to that sometimes. We got Don. What's going on, man? How you doing? He goes Judkins, Dowdle, Jennings, Genty, sorry, Devin Neal. Rank these guys.
$5 first. Super chat right now.
This is easy for me. I'll do this one. I'll start it. Junkins, Genty, Neal, Dowdle. That's my
Junkins. I'm sorry. I love when you say Junkins.
I know. I'm going to be saying it again in a minute. What do you think, Kendall?
I'm just checking the match. I'm pretty sure. I'm checking Judkins. Genty is the only thing I'm kind of checking here a little bit. I'm pretty sure I'm Judkins over Genty this week. I don't like the Raiders matchup or anything like that. But I like the Bears defense against the Browns so much this week. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna flip that. I'm gonna go Genty, Judkins, and then Devin Neal, and I have Dowdle last.
Yep.
I just like Devin Neal's consistency. I think he's got.
Yeah,
I know he came down from his previous targets. I think that maybe goes back up, maybe splits the difference.
And he gets the full
5.
He gets the full game here when he had like 8 passes in this game.
I hate to say this, but I think I got to go Judkins here, just because I think he's going to get a lot of great volume against my Bears. And the Bears are still not necessarily great at stopping the run. They've gotten a little better as they're getting used to the Dennis Allen system, but they don't have the right pieces to make it as effective as they could because, like I was saying earlier, they got a lot of Eberflus holdovers. They don't necessarily match up well with the schemes that Dennis Allen puts out there. So I got to go Judkins as one, and I don't necessarily want to touch that Saints-Panthers matchup because it's a division rivalry and it's going to be weird. I will take my chances with Genty as the RB2.
Yeah, and here's the other caveat for Junkins being the number one out of this. Sampson's out. Jerome Ford's on IR. They have nobody else. So
Pierre Strong, what are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. Forgot about him.
That
anyway.
time, huh?
Smokey the Cat, what's going on, brother? He goes, what's up, guys? Was about to play Likely over Pitts. Glad I didn't do that. I'd be in a really bad mood if I sat Pitts. Hey, man, I think a lot of people were in your boat. They saw the matchup and they thought, why the fuck not? Guess what? I'm glad you didn't. I actually am playing. I played him and Andrew. I'm going to be playing Andrews, so I'm excited about that. Jeremy Torres, what's up, man? He goes, full PPR, need 2 running backs, 1 tight end. All right. Harvey, Brees Hall, and Walker or Devin Neal. So let's do that one first.
Brees Hall, Devin Neal.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go Brees Hall and RJ Harvey. I really like RJ Harvey.
Yeah.
What is your obsession with RJ Harvey?
I like Harvey.
I loved him in college. Absolutely loved him. I thought he was a little
him.
mini Kamara. He had great contact balance, just a really savvy pass catcher. Like he was a good enough shifty rusher where I thought he was like a better Tajay Spears as a rusher. Not like crazy elite, but shifty, good, can average a good yards per carry against pretty much anybody without lacking like crazy explosivity traits. And I liked the contact balance, a la like just like a worse McCaffrey or Kamara. He's just slippery, and he's a guy I always saw a different version of James White, where he can kind of just always get 5-6 targets, and he doesn't have to be. He's a guy I always saw in the NFL with, like, if you ever give him 10 to 12 rushes and 5-6 targets a game, he's going to be good with them. He's actually underperformed straight up where I actually thought he was going to be. I was so high on him coming out of college, and I'm almost just telling myself, I'm betting on my own take from him in college. I'm betting that like he's better than I even see him in the NFL right now, but we'll have to see. I need to see more of the eye test. I still think he's almost like a little bit of Travion for me, where you've seen Travion, but I haven't really seen it from RJ yet. And I'd like to see some more explosive runs. So, but that's why
I thought I was more. I thought I was more into this at this point, but I was really high on I love RJ Harvey. I'm big on it. But looking at this question, the more I look at it while you guys were talking, not really loving Brees, but I love the volume. The matchup against the Jags, 5th best against against running backs.
Brees might be throwing some touchdowns in that game. Just keep.
No, fair enough, and you're not wrong. This is going to be a really crazy.
I thought about betting it. I really did.
I don't blame you.
Can I at least explain why I'm not going RJ Harvey here? Look,
I was going to ask you.
Packers are really good. Packers are great against the run. Yeah.
So listen, I mean, first of all, the Packers did get better against defending the run. The last
100%.
several years, they were not good at it, but since basically 2020, like half of 2023 going into 2024 is when they got better at defending the run. I think the Packers are going to be forcing Bo Nix to throw the ball, and the Broncos are going to have to pass the football in order to beat them. Now, that being said, we've also got Brees Hall, which I think will have to get involved in more ways than he's comfortable. And Ken Walker is still sharing with Zach Charbonnet, and I don't want to trust that over like Devin Neal and
100%.
Brees. And that's why I'm not. It's obvious the Broncos want to make RJ Harvey the guy. I'm scared he's going to be the next Phillip Lindsay.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that name's come up a lot in my
24 years old, and it took him a while to get going.
Yeah.
They
draft
drafted
pedigree though. Like explain draft pedigree.
They drafted Royce.
Undrafted.
They drafted Royce Freeman to be the guy years ago, and then Phillip Lindsay undrafted came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But Phillip Lindsay was also 24 and out of Colorado State, and he had like 2 good seasons, and then he was done. I'm scared Harvey's going to be done after like 2 seasons.
Okay. The whole point I'm bringing it up is I kind of want Devin Neal in this lineup, and the only reason why is because they're facing Carolina. Carolina is actually the worst out of this group against the run. So for me, I'm trying to get Devin Neal in this. It's hard for me not to play a guy like Harvey or Brees Hall, just talent-wise, but the teams aren't doing what they normally have, and they've been really having a rough time the last few weeks. Harvey is actually the only good, like has been doing real well, but Brees doesn't have anyone behind him. It's so tough. I'm trying to pick between Brees and RJ Harvey, and then going with Devin Neal. Devin Neal, I think, is my lock, which is weird to have the bottom end being the lock and not the top. But in this one, it's a tougher matchup because both teams are going against really tougher matchups. For me, it's the offense, so I have to lean Harvey. So, I want to go Harvey and Neal here if I can. It's strange to think, but that's what I'm doing.
So we should probably start to lightning round this because I got to go at 9:30.
Oh, not a
Central
problem.
Time.
Oh, got it. All right. So Chase and JJ all in. So he's picking his all in touchdowns at that point. We got Joe. What's going on, Joe Pekka? How you doing, man? He goes, Dottle, Manuel Wilson if Jacobs doesn't play.
I'm going to go
Manuel
Dowdle.
Wilson. This is if Jacobs is definitely out and Wilson's the starter.
I'm gonna go Dottle just because of the concept that we have no idea about Wilson, and I don't think even with the shared carries,
He's not saying sure. He's saying if Jacobs doesn't.
No. Oh, so then it has to be Dottle anyway.
Oh, for real?
Well, I'm just saying I think Jacobs plays. That's what I'm saying.
Packers are going up against a tough Broncos defense, and Carolina's going up against a weak Saints defense. I'm
going with the matchup.
I know that these division rivalry games are weird, but I think Dottle's going to get his.
Yeah, and Dottle's been a little cranky the last few weeks, even though Herbert did better against them when they were both, in it this game when they came back. So I'm going to go Dottle for sure.
All righty.
Jamie got Deep Dynasty League. It's start 11. So now, he was talking about his question before.
Yeah.
Ride, what's going on, man? He goes, how are we feeling about Jonathan Taylor and Taylor Warren? Would you guys go Woody Marks over Taylor? Never. I don't think anyone would out of this group.
Hell no.
And then Kincaid over Warren. That's the only one I think we might move on. But I like Warren. I'm pretty, and he's the emergency QB, which I know that doesn't mean much, but I'm still gonna go Warren.
So correct me if I'm mispronouncing your name, Rydires Chambers 2041. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but just because the Colts are down to an emergency option at Phillip Rivers does not mean that you have to start benching all the Colts. Taylor will get his, and also Tyler Warren will occasionally get his in plus matchups, but I would still rather go Kincaid if he's healthy because the Bills definitely revolve their passing game around the tight end, just like the Packers do.
Yeah, and Taylor is going to get his with Rivers. Rivers is a smart man that will check down to the guy that he knows is going to get him, and do well with him. So, I'm not.
And I know you have Harvey too, but if there's a way that you can start all three, do it. All three running backs. I would start Kincaid over Warren, but if you could start all three running backs, do it.
Yeah.
I agree with everything you guys just said. Couldn't have said it better.
Galaxy Pickers, what's up, man? He goes, what's up, gents? He goes, Goddard, Parkinson, or Waller. I'm looking for the most solid floor play going up against EMC.
I'll go Goddard here.
Go Goddard here.
Yeah, I got to go Goddard. He's just the better floor, and I agree. He's just
the other two guys are like the definition of touchdown or bust.
Boom bust
stuff.
Yeah. So that's all the questions we have tonight. Thank you all for joining us. We really do appreciate it. Please make sure. If you haven't already, please check out Underdog Fantasy. Please use promo code GetRight when you register, and they will currently are running a few promos. They got win your money, win up to 5,000 times your money. Play 5, get 75. So make sure you guys use that, and you will get this. There it is right there again. So make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy using promo code GetRight. Also, check out our affiliate podcast as well with Phil Ruskin at the Extra Point on Tuesdays and/or Wednesdays, and then as well as Kendall on the Fantasy Football Tavern, as well as I got to change this graphic for good old Evan at the Barely Fantasy as well. Check him out on YouTube. He puts out stuff every week, right?
It's not a certain schedule, but I put out a lot of YouTube shorts. I just uploaded a new full-length video.
That's right.
Please subscribe to me, Barely Fantasy, on YouTube if you haven't already, because stuff will still be coming, even during the off-season.
I love it. So make sure you guys check out Evan at Barely Fantasy as well. You guys got one question left. You guys can do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, it's a quick one. Purcell, Higgins is already ruled out, so take him out of your lineup. So Noah.
I think it's Jaden Higgins.
Well, either way. Purcell, Jaden Higgins, and Pierce. Who are you going with that group?
I'll go Jaden Higgins here.
I'm going to go Jaden Higgins here.
I think I'm going to go Jaden Higgins as well. I really want Purcell to do well, but I just can't trust it. So I'm going to go Higgins as well. So I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their night. I hope everyone has a wonderful week 15 as well. Please make sure you guys check us out. I'm going to be here hopefully on Sunday. Still waiting on the wife to have the baby, but I should be here on Sunday, hopefully. Other than that, I hope everyone has a wonderful week 15, unless you're facing me. We'll see you guys soon. I hope everyone has a really great night. Peace out.